I have a Minolta 100mm macro lens mounted to my Sony A900. The camera itself is mounted to the riser of an old enlarger. To hold the film, I'm using the 6x7 negative carrier from my DSLR enlarger. The light source is just a cheap LED light box from Amazon. I have the macro lens focused in as close as it will go. I then use the height adjustment knob on the rise for fine focus adjustment. To maximize resolution and detail from the negatives, I divide the negative into 4 sections and take 4 separate photos of the negative. I'll combine these photos into one image in Lightroom. I keep the camera in manual mode since I'm taking 4 shots of the same negative. If I used aperture priority, I'd end up with inconsistent exposure across the image. I'm using a remote shutter release to keep everything as stable as possible for the sharpest results. This is far from an ideal setup, but it puts out surprisingly good results. Far better than the Epson flatbed scanner that I had been using. I think after about a year of heavy use, the Epson just wore out. Every scan was super soft and almost had me convinced that I didn't know how to focus a camera anymore. Since switching to DSLR scanning, my image quality has greatly improved. Okay, let's head into Lightroom and get these photos imported. I start off creating a new folder for this role. If you want to know how I do all my file and folder naming, Kyle McDougall has a video on it. I use the same system he describes. So here are all the photos of the negatives imported into Lightroom. I'm going to grab the 4 sections of the negative I want to work on. I'm going to right-click, hit Photo Merge, and choose Panorama. We have 3 different projection options to work with. I just choose the one that looks best. While the first one processes, I'll go ahead and do the same to the next one. Through the magic of video editing, all of the photos have been merged into their complete image. Now it's time to open each one up and crop off the excess. Now I'll set the white balance to prep it for Negative Lab Pro. You should set the white balance off the film border. I didn't get the film border in the shot, so I'm using the thinnest portion of the negative. I'll then copy that white balance to the rest of the photos. I'll go ahead and select the first ones that I want to work with and open them in Negative Lab Pro. Once they've been converted, I don't mess with the native adjustments. I'm not a huge fan of them. Since it's Codec Portra 400, I'll choose Codec from all the drop-downs and call it a day. The last step I do is open them all in Photoshop and apply a sharpening filter to really pull out all the details.